Chapter 9 Evil must depart from her. Queen was sitting at a well early the following morning, and wanyenyekevu saw her looking into the well, penny for your thoughts. Queen turns to him, oh, he, wanyenyekevu, saying the pain on her face, tried to make small talk, there is so much to do, and we have so many people to take care of, but I am confident we can do it. It's going to take time, but it'll get done. Sabat is able. Queen, looking disappointed, I look back over my childhood and think about how some of these people have influenced me. And it's hard to believe that these same people and a few of them are my kin. How could they do such a thing to their own people? You say, I always thought our people were rigged us, and rigged now. I feel confused, angry, betrayed, and there are so many more emotions that I can't explain, ever since I found out. A tear ran down Queen's face as she started rambling. You and these people come to us with these strange powers and do amazing things and showed me, that's about once everyone, but all this time, our own hate and betray us and me people. We're supposed to love one another. I never trusted these Albanians. They showed up with powers and amazed our people, but not me. She paused and let out a deep sigh, saying, a house divided shall fall. I've seen with my own eyes how you killed that hideous creature, and it seemed lazy, but confusion covers me like a blanket. Wanyenyekevu just stood there and listened as Queen poured her heart out until she had finished. Listen, one of my ancestors was a drug dealer, and I have read in his story that the drug dealers in met in the street at Togo, mean and ruthless, but it's just an act, fatade for respect. These are the people who are the kindest people in the world and will give you the shirt off their backs. However, the more money you make, the more you grow, the more respect you demand. The more you become callous and would sell your mother for $1. Just as there are many people who were not us, who fought for us. History erased them from history books like John Brown, me and Friedrich was just talking about on yesterday. Virginia Foster Durer, Juatie Swaring, Anne Charty Braden, Herbert Kohl, and Jane Elliot. I'm sure there are many more who were not mentioned. Did they hide their names so we would not know of them? I don't know that there's got to be a few out there now, so here, who believe what is happening now in this world is wrong, as I have met a few on my journey, and they are with us to die. Sabat is no longer looking for blood that runs through your vein. This nothing the Albanians are looking at, nor is he looking for religious rites and routines, for there are many. For centuries, he's been looking at people's hearts. Paul taught us this in the Torah, and I, too, had forgotten until I made this journey. People with different cultures but the same agenda will surround us. That agenda is about. We will learn from them as they learn from us. We shall say a little touch of heaven here in this land. No evil-hearted person shall be in our midst, for evil must depart from us. Friedrich walked up to them. I couldn't help but overhear your conversation, and I'm sure many of your people feel the same way as you, and we must talk about healing from so much pain. Do you have an intercom system that can be heard throughout the community? Queen says, yes, we do. Follow me. They walked and talked about the situation, and once in the building, Friedrich took a seat, mai I have your attention, please. Miname is Friedrich, and im here with Queen and wanyenyekevu. Many of you may be engulfed in mixed emotions about what has happened in such a short period. We have to assess the power of love, hatred, and revenge. I'm reminded of the case of Chintoya Brown. If it was me, I would have done what she had done, but that justice system was corrupted, and the old Onehere was just as bad as back then. You just didn't know it. Let it be known and clear that about rules this city and, as here, the surrounding areas to the south of us, uhere wanyenyekevu is from, live the same way. This new way of life is structured and ordained this about. Should we destroy the computers and the anakatas? No, for our enemies are no our friends or family. We must destroy evil, not people, cultures, or races, for even our people were involved in this. The power of Satan has many of them believing lies, but their hearts are filled with greed and the luxuries of this world. That is why they do what they do. We are being gathered from the four corners of the globe to become a great beacon to about. Mark me words, it might be 20, 30, or even 50 years from now, but we will become such a great power, and they will welcome us back into their world, but Isai stay here, separate yourself from evil, for it will only be as cheme to manipulate and divide us again. But Sabaoth will not move this little corner of the planet. It will be our own little station, Indiana, but for Sabaoth. We are much larger than little station, which was one of the earliest African-American settlements in the United States. The town had a railroad station, post office, lumber mill, general stores, churches, an elementary school, and 55 homes. Lille station was started when a Tennessee slave owner Fred Joshua and Sanford Lilles gave them money and urged them to seek freedom in a northern state. They journeyed up the Tennessee River to Ohio and the Wabash River. The brothers walked 2 miles east of the Wabash and bogged a chunk of government land. The brothers cleared their ground and planted crops. Eventually, they accumulated over 1,200 acres of fertile river bottomlands. Following the Civil War, Joshua returned to Tennessee. He encouraged newly freed slaves to join him in this Indiana Garden of Eden, where cantaloupes and tomatoes grow big and plentiful in the sandy soil. Let us separate ourselves from evil, heal our hearts from the pain, and do the same as the Lilles brothers did. People of all colors, trades, and beliefs will surround us. Again, it will be easy to do this once everyone has received enlightenment to understand what is happening, for this is truly the will of Sabaoth, that all men be as one. That is the reason I like this word you use, mestizos. You say, some might not eat pork, some might be vegan. Learn what I say, and don't judge. Don't judge by your weaknesses, but by their weaknesses. Let that sink in for a minute. For we are all human, and none of us are perfect, just as the word says, enlighten. Let us use words to uplift and empower one another, for words are seeds planted in the soil of understanding. If the soil is rich, language is the harvest. The fruit of which is the formula for creation. When we lose our divine tongue or language, we lose the power of creation, usisahau. Friedrich began to blow brighter as he spoke, When and wanyenyekevu looked at each other as Friedrich continued, justice or revenge is so tempting when Simeone has wrongfully accused us of exacting revenge on them. When we are in a position to hurt them back. Keep in mind that there is a difference between justice and revenge. There is a time when justice should be sought and fought for. Compensation for an injury inflicted or a loss suffered through neglect or abuse on behalf of ourselves or others. However, revenge refers to the desire to inflict pain, damage, or harm in response to any alleged or actual act of wrongdoing, an act of passion, not proper judgment. Justice seeks redress of wrongs suffered. To set right or seek a remedy for something. Revenge aims to hurt or inflict pain on the wrongdoer. In the case of David and King Saul, Saul became jealous to the point of obsession with destroying David, who was slated to be king in his place because Saul failed God. It was not David's fault that God anointed him. But as he could not hurt God, Saul wanted to hurt David instead, whom he blamed for his failures. The more love David showed Saul, the more he hated him for showing him up as the fallen, inadequate king he was. Saul was embarrassed and wanted to save face. David, a skilled warrior, was able to kill Saul, who was hunting him down like a criminal. He demonized David to Everone to justify it. David's fellow soldiers urged him to kill Saul before he killed him. But David showed mercy and spared. The king he found sleeping in a cave. He cut off a piece of Saul's robe, which he later used to show him he could have taken his life. He appealed to Saul to make peace. But in his pride, Saul rejected the offer. David said to Saul, I have not wronged you, but you are hunting me down to destroy me. May the Lord judge between you and me and avenge the wrongs you have done to me, but my hand will not touch you. The old saying goes, from evildoers come evil deeds, so my hand will not come against you. Often we are in a position to hurt someone who hurt us in ways other than physical. We can retaliate professionally, personally, or even legally. People today use slander, evil speech, false allegations or accusations, and defamation of character to destroy people, whether deserved or not. Here, David exercises remarkable restraint and respect for the laws of God and righteousness. As a result of his compassion, God later did judge between us. Saul was subsequently killed trying to set up the king of Judah, Jehoshaphat. It was God's justice and not revenge. Whatever a man sows, that shall he reap. Evil speech, even Judaism, Hebraism, or the foundation of the Judeo-Christian faith, is intensely aware of the power of speech and the harm that can be done through speech or evil speaking in the Torah or slander and gossip. The universe itself was created through speech. The 43 sins enumerated in the Al-Chait Confession recited on Yom Kippur are sins committed through speech. The Talmud and even James in the Torah tell us that the tongue is so dangerous that it must be hidden from view behind two protective walls, the mouth and teeth, to prevent its misuse. The harm done by speech is even worse than by stealing or cheating someone financially. Money lost can be repaid but can never repair the damage done by speech. For this reason, there is no forgiveness for lashon hara or disparaging speech. This may or may not be true, but it illustrates the seriousness of offensive speech. Achasidik tale vividi illustrates the danger of improper speech. The man went about the community telling malicious lies about the rabbi. Later, he realized the wrong he had done and felt remorse. He begged the rabbi for forgiveness, saying he would do anything he could to make amends. The rabbi told the man, "Take a feather pillow, cut it open, and scatter the feathers to the winds." The man thought this was a strange request, but it was a simple enough task, and he did it gladly. When he returned to tell the rabbi that he had done it, the rabbi said, "No, go and gather the feathers. Because you can no more make amends for the damage your words have done than you can recollect the feathers." Speech has been compared to an arrow. Once the words are released, like an arrow, they cannot be recalled, the harm they do cannot be stopped, and the damage they do cannot always be predicted, for words like arrows often go astray. Friedrich paused and took a deep breath. He didn't come to say all that. He really didn't, but Sabaoth put it in my heart, and he spoke the words he had given me. Be blessed and go in the path that Sabaoth has given us. When and wanyenyekevu looked at each other, and wanyenyekevu said with a smile, "Sabaoth is able," and Quen replied, "Yes, he is." The days passed, and many of the enlightened from other camps around the region, dedicated to Sabaoth and his wives, gradually arrived in Tucson in great numbers, dwindling to a few until the last group. Young Yun and his men reported to Wanyenyekevu, "I am the last one, and all camps are secure, and they will report as soon as there is any mention of trouble." Wanyenyekevu ordered all Tucson prisoners to Madinat al-Tanwir and demanded that every family meet with him to rid themselves of those who no longer fit into their culture, those of evil heart. When anointed as the people lined up, "If a loved one is not approved, you may go with them, and you are not and will not be forced to stay, but we will force those who do not pass to leave. If you are directed to the left of the building, you will leave because you have an evil heart. We are not saying you were involved in trafficking, but your heart is not rigged with Sabaoth." I just wanted to say that. Wanyenyekevu sat there in a daze, staring into space as she spoke. When noticed Wanyenyekevu, a penny for your thoughts? He smiled, "I noticed, and it's just an observation, whether true or not, I'm not aware, but it seems to me that the farther you move from the south in any given direction, the less spiritual people are. I will not live in a plateau where men's heart is evil." Sabaoth has assigned dark eagle and metalogue after his people, and I will do just that, so if their hearts are evil, they must be dismissed. The crowd walls around and in the distance, "Where are we to go?" shouted Simeone in the crowd. "Truly, we must know that your heart is as corrupted as ours, to kick us out in the middle of nowhere." Wanyenyekevu stood up. "Can you say a man's heart? His desires? No, but Sabaoth has granted me that gift, and with it, I can say it you might fool yourself or others, but not Sabaoth, go as you please. It is none of my concern." Wanyenyekevu notices a man forcing a woman to follow him. "Yo. We are you forcing her to go with you," the man was rude. "Mind your own damn business, this does not concern you." Wanyenyekevu smiled, "Oh, but it does no." Wanyenyekevu shouted, "Daniel," and Daniel made his way toward the man. The man shouted, "Another child. What are we to be ruled by children?" Daniel broke both of the man's legs, and as the man screamed in agony, he tried to attack. Daniel turned and broke his nose. Wanyenyekevu asked the woman, "Do you want to stay or go?" The woman said, "If you find me worthy, I will stay. The abuse of my children and me have gone far too long to go anywhere with this man." Daniel hailed the man and told him to leave or die. Wanyenyekevu looked at the woman, saying, "Come and bring your children. Let me say if you are to stay or leave with this man, for it seems he might need to baby himself for our healing." The woman came to the front along with her children. Wanyenyekevu talked to the woman, touching her and her children. "Your humbleness was proof. Enter to the rigged, you have a good heart." The man hesitated to leave, but Wanyenyekevu's words infuriated him. Wanyenyekevu whispered into Queen's ear, "His anger will consume him, and he will try to kill me. He has a knife in his outfit on the rigged side. He shall attempt to kill me as soon as he reaches for his hand." The man walked toward Wanyenyekevu. "Sir, forgive me. I was just angry at my wife for wanting to stay. May I shake your hand as a sign of friendship and respect?" Smiling with disbelief, Wanyenyekevu said, "Sure, but it will be your death." The man did as predicted, but Queen cut off his hands and then his head. After removing the body, they moved to another location and continued their work. Wanyenyekevu and Queen worked hard each day to move people into and out of the lines. Those whose hearts were pure went to the rigged, and those whose spirits were evil left, eventually leaving 4 points in the hopes they could find someone who would appreciate them there. Wanyenyekevu and Queen talked and touched the people. Day in and day out, they worked together. When they got tired, they would take breaks and go to the nearby ponds and lakes to get away from it all and a means to relax. They were still busy at work for 2 weeks when the communicators were filled with chatter from across the regions at their bases. Wanyenyekevu. Albanians surround us. Before anyone could answer, Albanians flooded the entire Tucson area with ski crafts in the air. Wanyenyekevu got on the communicator, "So Arewe, hold your ground, but do nothing yet." A loud voice called the hair throughout the Tucson skies. "Who is this Wanyenyekevu? Show yourself." Wanyenyekevu, along with Friedrich and the rest of his warriors, quickly jumped on their ski craft. As Friedrich got closer to some Albanians, they just burned up, and their ski crafts came crashing to the ground as the people ran for cover. Rigged at 225 yards, the Albanian side. "That is close enough." For the Albanian felt his spirit burning. Wanyenyekevu shouted, "I can't yell for that long, I'll go hoarse." Wanyenyekevu signaled to the warriors as he, Queen, and the 2 brothers Jome and Aldib moved forward. Wanyenyekevu said, "You come at me with full force, I say. You have all our bases surrounded, yet you don't know what you are up against. I'm quite sure that you must have some idea by now, coming at us like this. Speak your mind and be on your way." The Albanian was outrageous at how Wanyenyekevu spoke to him. "I am Albani Bravo Ondoa Moja, and you dare speak to me like this, you fucking monkey." Wanyenyekevu smiled as he looked at Albani Ondoa Moja. "You are nothing but a demonic spirit that uses these humans as an energy source while you come to destroy this planet for the greater good of Lucifer himself. I say you, no, we say you for who you are, a falling servant of Sabaoth." Was out for revenge for something you did. You're like an ant trying to go to war with a human being, no contest, me friend, go around and don't bother us, until the time comes. And all who do from this day forward shall die, so you might want to prepare to se lazy humans you got to go to war with us. You might have a chance. Me fault, you won't even come close. Remove all your men from the rest of our territory. Signaling Friedrich and Obeto come forward, the Albanians' flesh began to burn. Or met your damnation to die. Abeni ondoa moja spoke into a devite, and the wanyenyekevu cold hair all the bases in his airpiete. Te are leaving. As Abeni ondoa moja was about to turn around, wanyenyekevu sighed, we will search other again. Wanyenyekevu smiled and said Abeni ondoa moja, bring some humans with you next time, bite why. There are a few headed toward Phoenix, you probably can use, te are, how do you say? After your own heart. They spent the rest of the day cleaning up the mess from the ski-craft, but the next day, Wanyenyekevu and Queen went back to training everyone in the area. After 3 months, they had completed their mission, and only one act of the treaty was rejected. Wanyenyekevu and Queen became close friends after spending so much time together, making their task easier once completed. They announced that the rest of the week would be spent resting before the holy journey. Many women spoke to Wanyenyekevu, and Queen appeared jealous of the unwanted attention. Friedrich saw the emotions and asked Queen to separate herself from Wanyenyekevu until after the holy journey, but did not explain why. A clock tower was built for the entire city to hear, and at sifuri Monday morning, it sounded for the first time. The tone was closed off, and the holy journey began. On the first day, Wanyenyekevu stood before the crowd with microphones and cameras pointing in his direction and started by saying, the population here is about 13,000 people. We have 2,030 enligtened, roughly 65 men per enligtened. Some will take time, and others might get it the same day. Once you have found your gift, help those who have not found their gift. Looking at Obe, mind you, some gifts are not seen or not as obvious as others. But if you speak in new tongues, it's evident that enlightenment has been established. Take Daniel, for instance, where unsure when he was enlightened because his gift was healing, so something had to be heard to realize that was his calling. One thing is perfectly clear when you speak new tongues or say Friedrich blowing. You have truly been enlightened, for only those who are enlightened can say the Shekinah glory that overshadows Friedrich. When approached the podium, I am reminded of the Maroons, who were descendants of Africans in the Americas who formed settlements away from slavery. They mixed with the indigenous peoples, growing into Creole cultures such as the Garifuna and the Mascogos. It's fitting, Igues, that we should betese mestizos te are calingus. Msheka has taken all our differences away from us and created a new thing in Saba through his sacrifice. Mlezi said this and I'm just now catching on. But it was Soture, saying, those who you taught were your people will be your enemies, and your enemies shall be your people, your family. Don't think your people have become your enemies, for they were your enemies already because they loved themselves more than you. Queen handed the microphone to Dark Eagle as he approached the podium. Like wanyenyekevu, I agree. I also would rather have a man who doesn't believe in about with a kind and gentle heart in me present than a man who calls himself a believer in about but is filled with malice. With this being said, let us begin. The crowd cheered, praising about with song and music, and man started singing. Soon man started dancing, and like a rushing, mighty wind like the day of Pentecost, man received that moment and started speaking unknown languages, French, Spanish and other languages unknown to them. It filled wanyenyekevu with so much joy he, too, shouted and danced for joy. Those who came to assist stayed until all received their gifts, taught those with similar gifts how to use them, and tested their abilities. Dark Eagles, his wife, and Queen became empathic, feeling people's emotions. His sons had extraordinary touch, hearing, and vision. After 6 weeks, the city was reopened, and everyone was covered with the blood of Msheka. Dark Eagle and his 3 sons gave out the land as wanyenyekevu, and his warriors arranged their military according to their gifts. Queen was sitting in her room, and a thought came across her mind, are there any clues? An addict asks a drunk to stop drinking. Did he forget that he was an addict? But to the drunk, he says the other man, his fellow man, in a condition worse than he is. How can this be? A man who curses 24/7 asked a lady to stop smoking. Has he forgotten that what comes out of a man defiles him, not what goes in? However, the lady who smokes as the man. We do you speak the way you do. And all he said was, because a liar tells a thief to stop stealing, a murderer to stop killing. Need is more about us humans. Finding fault with everyone, yet not looking at self. Not looking within. Complaining when winter is winter, when summer is summer. Never satisfied with anything. Gossiping and rumors rips across your lips, and we don't know it. Or do we? The streets have created a name for us. But I will wait until later to whisper it in your ears. We wait for later. We hold back the tears. You are defined simply as a hypocrite. Have you forgotten that all come short of the glory? Or, non righteous, no, not one. Yet, for some odd reason, you believe you are rigged, even willing to fig it. Not understanding that everyone is drawn away by their own lust and entity. Your lust, your entertainments, not mine. But yours. Be you, because of you. Your weaknesses are not mine. Your strength is not mine. You are worried about what you think are my weakness. Instead of worrying about your own. I understand how it was said that coming to God only had to be as a child. Humble and meek are the people he seek. So be understanding, seek knowledge, speak with wisdom. We are not perfect. We all have faults. Believe me, I can handle mine intuitive. What about you? With the words, I've just said. Are there any clues? Queen heard a knock on her door. Queen quickly put away her pad and enter. It was Dark Eagle. You have your own army. I'm so proud of you. Queen smiled. It's a battalion, father, not an army. We, as a whole, create an army. Dark Eagle looked at her. You know what I mean. You are leading loyal warriors of Saba into battle by yourself. Shesmiled wanyenyekevu hasmade mi brothers, elders and me a leader of money. Dark eagle side. Understand this, ilike him, but wanyenyekevu is a man of Sabaoth, and itake nothing from him, but it is Sabaoth who has done this, has just enforcing it to be as Sabaoth wants it. When nodded her head, true, stand corrected. Dark eagle hesitated for a second, that's not why tameto say yo. Friedrich told me we he asked you to separate yourself from wanyenyekevu until after the Holy Journey. Hesa what? I fail no. You have feelings for this man. When was about to interrupt him, but he held up his finger. And you don't know how to express it, so you argue and disagree with him for some odd reason. You're my doctor and have been a hard woman for a nyone to get next to. Itaugut. You to be strong and never to be taken advantage of. But love is beautiful, and I feel your love for this man whenever you mention his name. Can I tell you a secret? He has feelings for you also. He is you when it comes to women, I say that as well. But the great thing about it's about will that you and he be husband and wife, plus, nobody can handle you and your wise but him. When looked at Dark Eagle and lauged, what do you mean? Dark Eagle looked at Queen, you know what I mean, Coco. As he left the room, laughing. Davis Mountain Air Force Base was an old, abandoned Air Force Base 5 miles southeast of Tucson. It was renovated into a training field for all residents starting at 15. The basic training had to be learned by everyone, but everyone wasn't a warrior, but everyone had a part to play in the new stronghold of Sabaoth. Wanyenyekevu and his 11 warriors Grake, Merchi, Joy, Jome and his brother Alvib, Daniel, Elijah and his brother Elisha, Obe, Friedrich, and Queen. They had 12 men each under them, and those 12 commanded hundreds. They trained at different regional locations, from Picachopeac to Colonia and Huas, and battled in war games. The Boneyard, a plate of antique airplanes, was used for many war games. The losing teams juged al final competitions. On one occasion, Wanyenyekevu and Queen's team were the last two, and the judges called it a draw, so the commanders had to fight each other to find out who would be the competition's winner. Wanyenyekevu took the center of the arena, bowed, and Queen respectfully bowed back as he approached Queen. Wanyenyekevu said ill. Before he could finish his sentence, Queen had roundhouse kicked Wanyenyekevu in the face. Before he could turn back toward her, she threw a punch toward his face, and he blocked it and tried to elbow her, but she flipped out of his way and kicked him in the ribcage. Oh, I say you didn't come to play. Sighed Wanyenyekevu. You already bowed, I bowed, nothing else to do, but fight. Play, I'm trying to win. Wanyenyekevu had never fought a female like this before and held back. Queen saw him fight before, and saw what he was doing, and took advantage of that before she said. Keep holding back, you see me brother over there. Wanyenyekevu turned to look, and Queen kicked him twice in the knees and his groin. Queen finished her statement. They taught me to fight like a man, usisahau. Wanyenyekevu looked up, no, I'll never forget it again. Queen and her team had won the competition scoring 20 to Wanyenyekevu's 15. Friedrich walked toward Wanyenyekevu and helped him up. Everyone knows you weren't fighting your best. Wanyenyekevu shook his head. Was it obvious? In laughter, Friedrich sighed. Obvious? Hell, Stevie Wonder could say that. Limping toward the arena sitting area, he asked Friedrich why he didn't say her attacks. Friedrich sighed. Because you two are one. You will never say their actions because you love her, and she loves you. I don't know why you're both taking so long to say it, everyone else does. Later that night, Queen headed to his room to apologize for taking advantage of him. She knocked on his door. Opening to his door, she felt his emotions for her but ignored them as he opened the door. I just came by to apologize for taking advantage of you, but I must admit it felt good hoping your boot. Wanyenyekevu had left his notepad open, and he stopped what he was saying and quickly rushed over to close it and put it away. When noted it, what you got there? Wanyenyekevu felt embarrassed, and Queen felt his embarrassment, let me say. She reached for it, he blocked her hand, she countered, and he countered hers as he was doing so. There was a piece of paper on the floor, and she slipped as he gripped her arm. Trying to hold her from falling caused pain in his legs, and she fell on top of him. Fate to fate with about an inch between them. They stayed in that position for 2 seconds as their hearts raced before Wanyenyekevu heard a bell over his earpiece. Wanyenyekevu. I know you wanted me to keep radio silente, but this is an emergency. Wanyenyekevu quickly answers. Call everyone for an emergency meeting in the conference room. Queen asked, who is that? Wanyenyekevu didn't answer as he ran to the meeting, leaving Queen in his room. Queen grabbed his notepad and read his poetry, Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve lived a long time ago. They both made mistakes, but they didn't blame themselves. They blamed each other. Adam and Eve, only thing we know for sure, they loved one another. This we know. Eve, the mother of the living, gave birth to mankind. Adam, the father of mankind. Without them both, no man would be here. Let's make it that perfectly clear. No man, no woman. At the same time, because of them, sin lives within. Sin is here to stay until the end of days. Something was missing before Eve came into Adam's life. He had to know something before she came. Love had to be proven. They were not here just to be fruitful and multiply. But Adam had to realize with his eyes. Realize he was alone. He was told to name the animals. As he named them, he noted something was missing in his life. Something was wrong. Doe. Deer. Lion. Lioness. Bull. Cow. He was a man, he was missing the woman. And Eve was formed out of his rib. The missing link of man is truly a woman. Today that's hard to believe, but our example is Adam and Eve. She flips to the next page and notices boy, an unfinished poem. She reads. Loving the way you make me feel. Before, during, and after a conversation. It's great. Do I have to stop searching for love to die? Question. Are you here to stay? I've felt this way before, with a few. No, it's you. They were a lovely woman again. No, it's you. Hoping the feeling is the same, hoping you are true. Only time will tell if things will remain. Or if you will go and be no more. If it continues, I want to tell you something special. On our wedding day, it's simple. Ido. Small in stature, strong of heart. Yo knotat suhat ilike. Large in knowledge, somethingi crave in side. Huge in spirit, asparkle in mi eye. Hope you understand the lyrics. Saying a lot of things, tesame. Weve bent rogue tesame. Love tesame. Looking for tesame thing. Wold yo liketo care something for me. Mi last name. Want to be more than a friend on a die. A lover, a friend. A husband. When sat down on his bed and finished it. So, you want to be me boy. The only that only me heart will only know. Entering into the depth of only another soul, as we bond and continue to grow. Understanding the meaning of love. Through the words we share. Learning on one another, when the Lord is more than one can bear. Reading your heart with the lock in your eyes. Never allowing our love to die. Standing beside through this storm of life. For you have chosen me to be your wife. For now and forever, until death do us part. If you can promise that, you can have the case to me heart. You ask if I am the one. Asked. Is this time for real? Only if we really understand how we feel. The love we share is not yet of physical touch. So, are you sure that it is me that you love so much? I never knew true love, I never thought it was for me. Now you tell me that it could be. A chosen one even for me. That it is you, me love, so true, that I have waited so long to embrace. Standing at the altar, no love feels that spate, as we stand here, fate to fate. Queen was shortly summoned to the meeting about 10 minutes later. Wanyenyekevu waited for everyone to be seated. First, I want everyone to meet Abella. I didn't know how to trust until after enlightenment, so I did tell Anyone about her, him it whatever, because it's our secret weapon. She was reprogrammed. It's the AI that was at the abyss that Jonathan and Elijah used to monitor the global communication and satellite systems. The Albanians used her to analyze data for them. Long story, anyways, aside all that to say this. The Albanians are trying to say who left us and some of their own to assassinate everyone in this room. Holding the necklace, he held it around his neck. We can treat these necklaces as a symbol of residency. It's called a sun, and its material cannot be duplicated, cause it is literally from out of this world and fill it with the essence of Msheka, for this content has never been emptied since Eve filled it. Wanyenyekevu paused, Abella, cheate attensus, track our population, and warn us of new people within our midst rogue fate recognition. Abella sighed, what the fuck look like the social security of fite, they went out of business centuries ago. You need to create a gate and ask for it or some motherfucker. Wanyenyekevu looked at Aldib. Aldib smiled, what? I love a comedy, we just put some old comedians into the programming. I thought it was funny. Everyone loved Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, and Red Fox and M. You're lucky I didn't put Rudy Ray Moore in the program. Wanyenyekevu tenside. Abella, make the necklaces as soon as possible, please, Abella sighed. Since you said please. Everyone enlightened was given sons. For months, they trained and built a fortified wall using speedsters around their entire region. Depending on the location, they placed sensitive sensors around mountainous or rugged terrain to detect movements up to 5 miles away. Abeni Bravo ondoa moja became more and more furious, for he wanted to destroy whoever or whatever had the power to destroy them just by their presence and would send out spies, but no one ever came back. Wanyenyekevu commanded that their airspace beclare of Al-Abenian and their allies. They destroyed Al-Abenianski crafts and intruders on sight. Therefore, Abenib ondoa moja forced all of their human counterparts and trained them for battle. Their paradise became a forced training ground and a harsh reality for the computants. Wanyenyekevu's and his warriors' training was intensified and finally. Point the deal was tagged before the rest of the warriors returned to their homes throughout the region. 9 months had passed, and all the warriors were reorganized according to their skills and gifts, forming their military. They were divided into divisions: air assault, airborne, armored, cavalry, infantry, light, computerized, motorized, mountain, and the reserve training division.